Hello, welcome. Every time you look at videos about building robots, you definitely come across the word Arduino. For people who don't know, Arduino is a simple electronics platform that is made using an easy to use hardware and a software interface. It is open source and hence is very inexpensive and widely available. Today's video is the first of a many-part series that is intended or focused around teaching Arduino for the use of robotics. Firstly, there are multiple varieties of Arduino boards that are available, starting with the Arduino Nano to the Arduino Mega. There are even boards that are built very differently and are still compatible with Arduino software. Overall, the basics for all these boards are very similar, only depending on slight hardware change. The most popular Arduino of all these is the Arduino Uno. This is an Arduino Uno R3. R3 as in revision 3. I will be using this to demonstrate and teach all the basics. Since this is open source, there are tons of variants available on the market of this exact same board. They essentially function in the exact same way, albeit with small visual changes and sometimes other manufacturers adding in some different kinds of features. The one I am using, this one is made in Italy and it's called a genuine Arduino Uno and it's slightly more expensive. I would always suggest buying and using inexpensive clones like this one, which are available at a much lesser price. And as beginners, you wouldn't want to actually burn out your original Arduino Uno while making mistakes. Let me just start by giving you an overview about Arduino's hardware. So this is the Arduino Uno. This is mainly powered using the main microcontroller Atmega 328P, and it also has a smaller microcontroller called Atmega 16U, which is a mediator between the USB port and this microcontroller. You can also power this Arduino using two different ways, either using a USB power source or using a 6 to 12 volt supply on this DC jack or even using this VIN pin. All these headers are basically used for power supply. There are two grounds and there is a 5 and 3.3 volt which is used to power up sensors, which I will teach you later. There is also a reset pin, or you can directly use this reset header to actually bring back your code to the point 0. The entire Arduino Uno runs at 16 MHz. There are 6 analog pins. So basically these pins are actually used to read analog values, that is analog voltages, and not zeros or ones. To read zeros or ones, we normally make use of digital pins, that is from 0 to 13. There are 14 pins in total, and these can either read or write ones and zeros, that is digital signals. There are few other exceptions here, like there are pins marked with a small symbol known as tilde. So these are PWM pins or pulse width modulation pins. What pulse width modulation does is it makes use of specific cycles of highs and lows to make sure that the output you're writing is treated as an analog signal. You have few ground pins here, and this header is actually used to program your Atmega 328P using a bootloader. This is a bit advanced stuff and you don't need it as of now. To start using the Arduino, you typically need to set up something known as an Integrated Development Environment or IDE. In case of Arduino, it's very simple, as only thing you have to do is go to Arduino's website and download the installer. Run the setup, and once it's done, you will be able to use Arduino and the Arduino IDE, which will look like this. Okay, so this is the IDE which we normally use to write and build code for numerous Arduino devices. So here is where you write the code, and this is the console where you can see if there are any errors or something. So this software will work on all Arduino, genuine or clones alike. Let's first check if the Arduino which we have is working or not. Firstly, we connect the Arduino to the PC. Then to see which port our Arduino is connected to, go to the device manager and go to the port section. You can see that our Arduino Uno is connected to COM14. If your device is not visible here, then there is some problem with your device. Then the most common program which we use to test an Arduino is the Blink program. So to open the program, go to Examples, Basics, and then Blink. What this program does is, it actually uses the built-in LED on the Arduino and makes it blink. We will just make a few changes so that we will know that our changes are working or not. So here I have made the LED to be on for 2 seconds and then it will turn off for 1 single second. We'll compile this program to check whether if there are any errors or not. It says done compiling, so there are no errors, and now we can actually upload this program into our Arduino. Before uploading, we need to make sure that the board is selected as Arduino Uno and then the port is selected as COM14 as seen previously. Now we have selected the right board, we can click upload. While uploading, you can see that the TX and RX LEDs on the Arduino Uno start blinking. Now that the upload is done, you can see that the LED on the Arduino is blinking. The on time is 2 seconds and the off time is 1 second. This is a basic test to make sure whether your Arduino is functioning properly or not. This concludes our first episode. In the coming episode, I will teach you the basics of Arduino programming and all the basic coding that is necessary. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, please consider subscribing. Leave a like and comment about what would you like me to talk about in the next upcoming video. Until then, peace.